In this world, is the destiny of mankind controlled by some transcendental entity or law? Is it like the hand of God hovering above? At least it is true that man has no control, even over his own will.
Ship Review.
The Enterprise is a Tier 8 American carrier, and what literally everyone was buggering me about. While every American carrier was jerking off to the power of the HE bomb, the Enterprise was studying the AP bomb. And look at who is laughing now. I'm the first to recognize that I wasn't particularly excited at the prospect of playing Enterprise. At first glance it has exactly the opposite kit to Sapin or Chad Lexington, which isn't appealing to say the least. But I took it upon myself to give this iconic carrier the benefit of the doubt. Because either if you love it or hate it inside the game, you have to respect the history of the real thing. Being the most condecorated ship in the US Navy, having fought in most of the battles of World War II, and participating in the sinking of aircraft carriers like Kaga and Akagi, earning her multiple nicknames. But despite surviving all of this, she wasn't made a museum ship. So, how do you play the Grey Ghost? The Enterprise has two features to set it apart from other carriers. You have some very good fighter squadrons, which isn't very special as you should use them mostly for spotting. And you have a very fast plane regeneration, which means you can do some very stupid risky runs at the beginning of the match to get some good drops on important targets and not get crippled like in Sapin. First of all, you have FR rockets. Lots of them that can pen 27mm. Like with any other carrier, you throw this bad boys at the beginning of the match for spotting, helping your team know where to lemming train and to damage whatever thing you find first. Even carriers, just go out there and spread American freedom to anything in your path. But given their problems at penning armored targets, you should use this rockets on cruisers without a heel and destroyers, as they are the most important targets of the match. Just remember to hit them from the side. However, you can still use these rockets against battleships by aiming for the superstructure for pen damage, or aiming anywhere else and hoping to get a permafire. Unlike other carriers, you will be using them for nearly the entire match, especially to finish off low health ships. The torpedo planes, while not amazing as those found on Sapin or Kaga, are very usable with some short arming distance and decent damage. You drop on all kinds of targets, and you try to search for those that are less protected by AA to maximize your flight. For battleships, you aim at the nose and stern to get floodings. If you get one and the battleship repairs, if you can, try waiting out before doing a second drop. That way you will skip the invulnerability period of the damage con. For cruisers, you have to predict if they will turn away or keep going straight. If they keep straight, aim further than you would on battleships, and if they turn outside, drop with the reticle inside the ship, as the torpedoes are not fast enough to catch up with them. If you get the chance, always drop on enemy Kagas to assert dominance and remind them of historical accuracy. But most importantly, always drop on destroyers. Dropping them with Enterprise is not particularly difficult, and it's the ultimate way of stroking your ego. So without further ado, enjoy.
いいぞ一緒に寝よう一緒に寝よう私もマズラヨネわかんねえねヨネやったヨネより可愛いぞヨネわかんねえ大好き可愛いそれのかき氷や食べるわかった体もつけといたよしやったー
And finally there are the AP bombers, which make Enterprise stick out from the rest of USN carriers. At first I thought they were actually crap, and sometimes the dispersion looks like it's plotting against you. But with enough practice and understanding, I realized their true potential. They have a worse pen than the IJNAP bombers, which means you sit idle even less battleships than the Hakoryu, but you can still do a number on all the German battleships and BBs of other nations at tier 8 or lower. If you ever spot a Bismarck or a Tirpitz on the enemy team, you have a guaranteed source of damage. But the true potential of these bombs rely on hitting cruisers, especially those that are covered with AA, because they need to learn how useless they are. You have 6 bombs, so you are bound to hit the citadel if you aim properly. Always try to aim the reticle parallel to the ship, and don't forget that if you started the run improperly, you can just turn the aiming reticle.
Psych!
The trick for a good AP run is speed, and knowing what your run will be like. Try to make a path where you will drop as much ships as you can without having to turn. And because some people are crazy enough, yes, you can drop on destroyers with these things, if you are asshole enough.
Why you bully me?
For the modules you take the usual stuff, only worth mentioning taking the extra bomber health to help on making more than one drop per flight. And for the skills, this is the setup I've been running. I ditched the 4-point side stabilization that I've used on other carriers and opted to take adrenaline rush, improved engine boost and last gasp to get as much speed as possible. And that's it. This is how you become one of the best Enterprise players. So in closing, if you are a filthy carrier lover or a fucking weeaboo, or both, this ship is a recommended buy.
Oh my god, look at that! The clouds are parting, and the heavens are sending us a message from above! Our eyes squint and adjust to the heavenly glow, when we finally can understand what it says. Hey! Oh my god!